Hi friends, it's Alexa. Welcome to the Low Impact Fit channel. I'm coming at you with another Pilates equipment review, and today we're going to be looking at the Legacy Pilates Apparatus Spine Corrector. I've been on the market for a spine corrector for a little while now. You might remember the video I made about the spine corrector I bought from Amazon, but I had to return because it just did not work for my Pilates practice. The dimensions just weren't right. Well, I was really thrilled when Legacy Pilates Apparatus reached out to me and offered to send through a classical spine corrector, and here's the best part. It was going to arrive in less than 2 weeks. If you have ever bought anything from a Pilates manufacturer, you know that the shipping times are crazy and usually take anywhere from 4 months to 12 months to deliver. Yes, I said that correctly. There are Pilates equipment manufacturers right now. If you order from them, your equipment will not arrive for 12 months, which is crazy because who wants to wait that long? If I want to buy something, I want it to arrive, almost immediately. Well, when Legacy said that their delivery time was under 2 weeks, I kind of thought, well, we'll see, right? So I placed my order with them, and they gave me options when I was placing the order. So you can order soft foam or firmer density foam, and I chose the firmer density. I also chose my color, which is sage, and it matches with my mat that I already have. I absolutely love it. But anyway, placed my order, and in 7 days from when I decided what color and what foam density I was gonna have, the barrel was delivered to my doorstep. I mean, even I was shocked. I was shocked that it came so quick. So if you're looking to buy Pilates apparatus that gets delivered in a timely manner, you will want to stay and watch the rest of this video. Anyway, let's look at the barrel itself. So was it worth it? It is made of solid wood. I'll turn it over so you can see the inside. Made of solid wood. It has two of these support beams on the inside. It's pretty solid, guys. So if you've ever used a classical spine corrector, I think this is probably as good as it gets in terms of detail and in terms of quality of the wood that they use and how it's manufactured. One of the selling points of this barrel is that the handles are a little bit further forward, so a little bit closer to the lip of the barrel than most other spine correctors. And it's supposed to position your arms in the right place for exercises like legs in the air, like when you're doing the spine corrector leg exercises. And the handle's just in a nicer position for the body. I love the fact that they offer 2 foam density options. When you look at some of the other barrels on the market, they either have this really thin foam, which is like super hard, or they have really soft foam where it's harder to make a connection in your body to the exercise. So I really love that the foam density on this is kind of firm, but it still provides enough padding for my spine. So the biggest question, at least this was the question that I had before, before saying yes to Legacy sending me through the spine corrector, was how does this compare to what's already out there on the market? How does this compare to the standard? And for most people, the standard will be Gratz. So let me get a Gratz barrel and show you how that compares. So I went over to the studio and picked up a Gratz spine corrector so that I could compare it side by side to the Legacy spine corrector. And the reason I decided to do this is because a lot of people who are in the market for classical Pilates equipment are very familiar with Gratz. They're one of the more established Pilates equipment manufacturers, and Legacy Apparatus is a fairly new player on the market, so not as many people have experience with the equipment from Legacy. And Gratz is kind of the standard that a lot of people take. So let's talk about how the Gratz is the same and how it is different from the Legacy spine corrector. Number one, I already kind of mentioned foam density. So when you press into this spine corrector, it is slightly denser foam than the Gratz spine corrector. It's a little bit softer. I find that the denser foam allows me to connect into the exercises a little bit more. My core has to work just that little bit harder to kind of pull into the barrel, and it gives me a little bit more feedback as well, versus working on the Gratz where it's slightly more sinking in, but it's not major, right? So I'm not going to knock the Gratz. I do love this barrel as well. Big difference is the position of the handles. And let me move the Legacy barrel a little forward so that you can see it. I'm going to position the Gratz barrel right on top of the Legacy barrel. Let me get it straight. All right, I'm going to lift it up a little bit so that they're fairly even. I don't know if you can see on the screen, but the Legacy handle is slightly further forward than the Gratz handle. It's only a few inches, but when you're doing exercises like the leg in the air exercises, it makes a huge difference to have the handle positioned just a little further forward, giving you a little bit more reach in your arms. And they did this because they were trying to go as close as possible to the original dimensions of the barrels that Joseph Pilates had, so that you can have the same feel that Joseph Pilates wanted you to have in the exercises. All right, so that's a big difference for me, and I actually prefer the Legacy handle positioning a little bit better than the Gratz handle positioning. Let's turn the barrels. Let's see if I can do this with two barrels. Let's turn them inside out so that you can see the inner part of the Legacy barrel versus the Gratz barrel. Now, this is an older Gratz barrel. You know, who knows? They might have changed the way they make their barrels, but I don't think they have. What I can see a big difference here is that this one has 2 support beams inside, and this one has a 1 support beam, or one running through the center. Does that make a big difference? I don't know. You know, I'm just going to say 2 might be better than 1, especially if you have someone who's really heavy using the barrel. But to be honest, the Gratz barrel is really sturdy. We have not had one break yet, so I'm not going to go and make those claims. But yeah, if you were wondering what the difference was from the inside, hopefully you can see that there. But the upholstery is amazing on the Legacy, really good, just like the Gratz. All right, so let's look at other dimensions and things. I did bring my measuring tape because it is important, right? Like if you want to do classical Pilates, you want the equipment to work for you. So I'm going to measure the barrel across, and the Legacy barrel, or the Legacy spine corrector, is 18 inches exactly across according to my measurements, right? And the Gratz is 17 and like maybe a quarter, so 17 and a quarter. So there's like a 3/4 difference between the width of both barrels. When you look at the length of the barrel, let me turn it back over on its side. When you look at the length of the barrel, the Legacy barrel is 30 inches long, and the Gratz is, let's see, it is 29 inches long according to this measuring tape. So about an inch difference in terms of length and 3/4 of an inch difference in terms of width. When I have used a Legacy barrel, I have not really noticed that being an issue. I love this barrel, so I'm so happy they sent it through. You know, I've already been doing so much Pilates on it. I've not noticed that 1/4 inch makes a huge difference, but just in case you wanted to know what the difference were dimension-wise, that is it. So biggest differences are that this foam is denser than the traditional or just the regular Gratz barrel foam, which is a little bit softer. The handle positioning is different, so the exercises, you might have a little bit more reach in the exercise. It feels slightly different. For me, it feels better. I like this handle positioning so much better. And then I didn't talk about handle quality. I mean, you know, to be honest, the Gratz hand, this has lasted us a long time. So again, I cannot knock the quality, but this is brushed stainless steel. So I like the look and feel of it a little better. But, you know, not to say that this handle will not last you 20 years, because this barrel has lasted us a while. So hopefully that helps some of you when you're making a decision between, you know, like if you want to order and you want to get your barrel quick, but you're kind of stalling because you don't know what you're going to get from Legacy. Hopefully it helps you make a decision when you're buying your next round of equipment, or when you're buying that piece of equipment. Let's do some exercises on the barrel and see what that looks like. All right, let's do some Pilates. Oh, one of the things that's supposed to be particularly good on this barrel is the leg in the air exercises. We've already talked about how beneficial the position of the handle is for those. So let's go into it. I'm gonna lay down, and I do have to say I really love the slightly higher density foam. And I don't know if it's that extra little bit of width, but my shoulders feel like they can spread a little bit more on this barrel as well. We're just gonna keep it simple and do some scissors here, reaching nice and long. One of the reasons I returned the last barrel I bought was because I just could not do these leg in the air exercises properly on it.
and I also couldn't transition out of them properly. So let's see if we can transition into teaser, coming all the way up. And yes, we can. I love this handle position. It makes the exercise just that little bit more connected. One more thing, when I went back to edit this video, I noticed that there was a slight height difference between the Legacy Spine Corrector and the Gratz Spine Corrector. Measuring it from top to bottom, you'll see that the Gratz is exactly 12 inches high or 1 foot. And when we look at the Legacy Spine Corrector, we are at 12.5 inches high. So it's about ½ an inch height difference from bottom to top. If you remember the measurements from earlier, it was a little bit longer. So it's 1 inch longer on the Legacy Spine Corrector. It's ½ an inch higher, and it is 3/4 of an inch wider than the Gratz. Hopefully you found this review video really helpful. If you've been wondering whether you want to place an order with Legacy, I can highly recommend them. The quality of the equipment is fantastic. At least the Spine Corrector feels great when doing Pilates exercises on it. And their shipping time is unheard of in the Pilates industry. I mean, everybody else is giving shipping times of 16 weeks to 12 months. They are delivering in under 2 weeks, which is just, I love it. I love to order stuff and actually have it arrive before I've forgotten about it. Hopefully you found this helpful. If you did, drop a like below, drop a comment. If you want me to review any other pieces of equipment, drop a comment below. If you have questions, drop a comment. I hope I get to see you all again soon. Bye.